Dr. Rajan, thank you very much for releasing the Fibac report and for launching the digital application. It's a great honor for us. It is so appropriate that we should launch this digital application today when we are discussing digital banking. This application embodies the promise of digital technology to the banking system. Sir, it is paperless, it is online. It took 3 months from conceptualization to actual launch, and it promises to enhance the productivity of the whole banking system. That, in our view, embodies the promise of digital technology for the whole banking system. Dr. Rajan, you would be happy to know that 83% of the banks in our country, representing 90% of the business, are a part of this system. So we expect that this system will play a meaningful role in enhancing the productivity of the banking system, which is the whole purpose of Fibac. Digital technology has extraordinary promise for the banking system. And today, in India, it is fortuitous that there are 5 different forces coming together. We are all aware of low-cost mobile phones with internet access reaching the hands of a young India at a very fast pace. Technologies like analytics is maturing very rapidly and at low cost. Aadhaar is expanding in a manner that we will have biometric identity for most of the people in India very soon. Our government has an ambitious agenda for digital India and a grand vision. And very importantly, we have got very progressive pro-development regulations under your stewardship. Governor, you will be delighted to know that when my partners talk to their clients outside India, they find that comparatively, India is already a better place for digital banking compared to other emerging markets, which they evaluate. It is indeed a tribute to your relentless and incessant reform measures over the last several months in the areas of KYC, business correspondence, payment systems, and so on and so forth. We thank you. We are very proud that the Reserve Bank is taking such proactive measures. We would like to use this platform to salute your endeavors and to request for continued trust. We are making very bold projections in this report. We are arguing that in a matter of few years, the ROA, which is the profitability of the whole banking system, can go up by as much as 0.3 to 0.4% if digital technology were to be used appropriately across different parts of the value chain of banking. This could tantamount to 1 to 1.5% reduction in the interest rate to the industry. So it is not a small thing. The customers are going to win in a major way. We expect that the banks are going to engage in a massive warfare for customers' transactions, which will be accentuated by the payment banks that the RBI plans to unleash. The customers will demand and they will get a digital experience that matches the iconic firms like Google, Amazon, and Facebook. The power of digital technology is such that it is available, it is cheap, and it will be possible to replicate everything that is possible in any part of the world. Most importantly, we believe that we can see the line of sight now to eradication of financial exclusion. And it can be defeated with genuine full-service onboarding of the customers. And here, Dr. Rajan, we have got 4 suggestions coming out of this study for your consideration. First is that time has come for us to declare a full war on cash. It is actually possible. We predict in this report that if we were to take the right steps, we can get rid of 30 to 40% cash in our system. And that is not just a massive cost reduction opportunity, it has well-known implications and benefits for tax efficiency, reduction of corruption, etc., etc. But most importantly, it can play a very vital role in making financial inclusion really viable. We have to attack the cash at its main source, which is the point of sale at the small merchants and the small towns. Both the merchant in the small town and his or her customer have a mobile phone. Sir, we have made great strides in USSD technology, and we are very proud of that, but we have one more step to go. Other countries are ahead of us by 1 step. Today it is possible, for example, in UK, for anybody to transfer money to anybody else just knowing his or her mobile number. It is not possible in our country as of now. Imagine if we were to be able to do that, what will happen? The large number of bank accounts and the new customers under the Jan Dhan scheme can make all their purchases on small merchants at point of sale using mobile phones. They do not have to withdraw money from their accounts. With this one innovation, these accounts can become transacting accounts rather than just accounts for cash withdrawal. And our research shows in a very powerful way that if the accounts are transacting, they will have balances. And the more they transact, the higher the balances. Not only will customers stop withdrawing cash, which will reduce the cost for the banking industry, if they were to use these accounts for payments, the balances will go up, and we can abolish the bane of exclusion by destroying this curse of unfavorable economics, which we all know, and at the bottom of our heart, we are aware of and worried about what will happen as we, open large number of accounts in Jan Dhan. Dr. Rajan, we need to review the ambition in our Gyro scheme that you have very ambitiously introduced, and it is being discussed. A Gyro scheme has to imagine that not just utilities, but any person across the counter can raise a bill to anybody else on his mobile phone, and that bill can be accepted and can be paid. This is possible, and it will revolutionize our banking system in a manner that we are not imagining fully today. So I have 3 more points. We are doing inclusion with an energy that is awe-inspiring. And it makes us believe that many things in this country which are not possible before are actually possible. We need to do the same on the credit side, and we argue that inclusion in credit has to be driven fundamentally with information bureaus as the primary weapon. We are very pleased that your agenda already has the rapid inclusion of utility bill payment records information bureaus. We urge you to continue with the pressure on that. We believe that in one stroke, information bureau coverage can go from 20% to 70% of India. Imagine what it can do to accessibility of credit for a large number of people. And if required, we should not shy away from subsidizing the credit bureau fees for small ticket excluded customers to ensure rapid coverage. The other point that you would like to bring to your attention is that, sir, we are very close to becoming a system where purely paperless transactions right from the time of account opening to all servicing is possible today in our country. Actually, as we speak, most of the banks, many banks are working on revised processes which will allow for paper to just completely go away. RBI will soon be flooded with requests as many banks come to you to clarify the stance on the necessity of using wet signatures and other traditional ways of authentication when it is possible to use OTP or biometrics. Sir, we request your continued support in this to make India truly paperless as far as banking is concerned, and we feel that this is actually possible. It is line of sight. It's a matter of few months, not years. And finally, Honorable Governor, I would like to address the elephant in the room. We have conducted this benchmarking for the last 5 years, and every year we find a certain pattern, and it's important to recognize what is behind the pattern. Every year we find that public sector trails on many metrics of productivity. It is quite unmistakable, and we know that it is not that there is no room for improvement, but it is quite unmistakable that the whole sector works with one hand tied behind their back. It is important, critically important, that the agenda of public sector reforms, perhaps the most important reform in our banking industry, be taken with the energy and passion, Dr. Rajan, that you've displayed for all the reforms that you have pursued so far. The smaller end of public sector, almost on all metrics, trails behind the larger end of public sector. It is not that they are small and they are subscale. There is a management bandwidth issue. On this forum, using this forum, we urge you to be relentless in pushing the public sector bank reforms, the question of their autonomy, governance, and consolidation till they reach a logical conclusion. Thank you very much, Honorable Governor, for your time and your support.